Okay, Emilia is going to take us on a tour of the Fairy Woodland. So we're going into the Fairy Woodland. And we, Emilia, we see who we can find. Okay. So the first fairy is Queen Maeve. And this is Queen Maeve's house. Queen Maeve is the fairy doctor, and she lives in this big ash tree. And when the fairies are sick, she flies around the fairy woodland, making the medicine out of all the lovely herbs. So the next fairy we're going to find, while Emilia is busy, I'll tell you about the King Fairy. So the King Fairy lives over here, and his name is King Dagda. And he has a big house, and he has a workshop, and he does all the work in there, making the fairy doors and crushing up the baby teeth with the elves. And he's very messy. He never puts any of his breakfast away, and he leaves coffee cups everywhere and tools everywhere. So that's why the Queen lives in her very tidy house. Now, okay, so we're going to go and find the next one, Emilia. So the next fairy we're going to find, come on. We're going to find the next one. Okay, so the next fairy we're going to find is the Tooth Fairy. So the Tooth Fairy, her name is Zerara, and she lives behind the pink door and this lovely hazel tree here. And she has a window there, and she collects all the teeth from all the children who've lost their teeth in Galway. And then she gives the teeth to the king, and the king grinds them up. And when they're ground up, he gives them to the queen, and she makes the fairy dust. And the fairies can't do any magic or fly if they don't have fairy dust. So that's why the teeth are very valuable. So we're going to go and find the next door. And it is actually an elf. So this is Joey the Carpenter Elf. And he helps the king grinding up the teeth. And also making the fairy doors and stuff like that. Anything that the king has to do in his workshop. So where are we going next, Emilia? Putting on a bit of speed here. So the next fairy is Eddie, and he lives in this lovely house and this big ash tree, and he helps the bees and all the pollinators. And this is Gracious's house. So she's the Rainbow Fairy, and she painted up her door last year for Pride. So we're going to see who we can find next. So the next fairy is Gentian, the fairy secretary. So she helps all the fairies with their posts, and she helps the Tooth Fairy with the post and everything. So this is the fairy wishing well, dedicated to Che. And use a lovely sign there. Star, star, teach me how to shine. Close your eyes.